Ah, yes, we're live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself. And of course, this is the next installment of HoGaLe's. Yes, we are back to HoGaLe's. Lena is back. And of course, we give special thanks as well for Deanne hopping in as she did. She did a great job. So if you're watching,
isn't she
Deanne,
a honey?
Oh, she's
great. She's great. So we want to say a big thank you for your contribution to the show. And of course, you are welcome back on because Lena travels a lot, by the way. So you might be back sooner than you think.
There'll be other occasions.
Indeed. To my side, of course, here I have Lady G in New Mexico, and not down under this time. In fact, really, I should be kind of pointing that way because Lena's in Argentina.
Isn't it fabulous? Fabulous.
Wonderful.
And a viewer pointed out in the comments, it's still down under in a way. It's just halfway around the world.
Yes. You're still
oh my God, Argentina, they have the best meat.
Yeah, if you're into meat, you're in the right place.
That's the place to be.
Buenos Aires is very varied. You know, you can have sushi and other things.
Oh.
We had delicious fish today.
Well, there you go.
That's good to know. And if you, Lena, can give us just a little mini report. What's going on with Mr. Tantra? Yeah,
the tantric sex coach from hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has he become more sane, or has it become more strange? Can you give us
and he is getting crazier and crazier. He looks psychotic, doesn't he? You just look at the man and you go, oh my God. But I will keep you posted in the coming weeks. But he's still in the picture.
Wow, my goodness, because we got told off. Well, I think it was more me that got told off. You know what it's like. The ladies can say whatever they like.
Yeah, and then you get the
smack. And we were talking about this guy who, of course, I had no idea, was a complete cold read for me. Really was. And someone was like, he's quite sophisticated, you know, he's not just blah, blah, blah. I know. Can you believe it? And I had to write back to them, and I'm just like, okay, so you're kind of happy with no education and selling your organs and all of that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah, you can't go there if that's sophisticated. God help us all.
Yeah, no, I just thought I would mention that in passing. So, ladies and viewers, thank you so much as well for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and what is it, bell icon reminder. And the details of the ladies' channels are in the video description as usual. So please, of course, like and subscribe to the ladies as well. Full on show. Normally I actually give the ladies a tiny little bit of a briefing backstage. They've got no idea. We're just they've got no idea what's coming. So I'm just going to let rip. Okay, ladies, are you ready for the first question?
Go for it.
All right, so here we are. This is a good one, actually. This is a good one. We're starting out with AI. So this is coming from Lola Herrera. She says, hello there, everyone.
Oh, hi, Lola. She was one of my tarot students until recently.
Oh, that's lovely. And she says, thank you all for being the best highlight of the week. Oh, that's sweet. That's very kind of you. My question is, will AI actually get involved in benefiting, as in regulating media to a degree where it helps to diminish false information? Now that's quite a spicy one, isn't it?
Curly one. I love
curly one, indeed. So I saw it and I was just like, you know what, we need to go there. So
okay, so let's strip it down. Can AI be employed for fact-checking news? Okay, or will it be? Okay, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great question, Lola.
It's a great question, and it's full of many piquant elements.
Get you, doll.
Yeah, I like that word, but I mean, that really is a piquant question. So we all know how these things can go. Right, let me just pour my little tea here. non-caffeine tea.
All right, I can go if you want.
Go for it, Lena.
Well, I don't think so with these cards, right? So we've got the what we forget with this Nine of Swords is it's multiple worries. It's not just one. That's why it's a 9 getting up there. And there are so many concerns around this issue. I don't think we're looking at the light. One of the messages of the 5 here is that people are going past the church but aren't responding. Oh, no. So that'd be no. Money will rule it like everything else because we can't keep fast enough, legislation going forward. A big stick potentially. It has potential to do this thing. But I think it's not until we change as a society it'll be used for that.
Yeah, makes sense. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the center of it, it's about what's being built and constructed, how they're using it. And above it is saying, yeah, no, it's just to make wealth for some people. Going into it again out in the cold, and it's going to be struggling people with it. The challenge is going forward that it's just a big burden on it. So it's saying no, it's not going to be used for that.
Yeah, fairly typical. And before I read my cards, I'll just read out some of the people that have joined us there. So we've got Fozzie, Foggy Oscar, Pisces, Paula, Steve Watts, Connie B, Flora D, Dina Donatelli, and Suzanne, and many of you arriving as well in the chat. Let's see here what someone written says. Still could be tampered with. Info can only be what the info in was. So I mean that's a very good point. Very good point. And it's been saying thumbs up, viewers as well. Thank you. Okay, the cards that I've got, guess what? Surprise, surprise, ladies. My cards are pretty similar to yours. As you know, we're usually in sync. All right, actually, I've got 2 major arcana here. My card here, look at this, the Chariot. So we all know what basically, when it comes to AI, as far as I'm concerned, we're all under the bus on this one. It is just racing forward at breakneck speed. We all know what the Chariot is about. Going forward with impetus, fortitude, courage. But it's a speedy and it's a fast card. Probably one of the fastest out of the major arcana, I would imagine. It's all rushing ahead, isn't it? So this means on a big scale. Big scale. But look at the obstacle position. We've got the Knight of Cups. So there's an element here of what? False messaging, seduction. Guess what the AI is most probably going to be used for? What? Fraudulent things, or creating false narratives and possibly propaganda. I mean, that's what it says to me. I'll share something. One of my really good friends, Gustav, posted an AI video of him talking in perfect German. He's Swedish, and he recorded it, I think, in his own language or English, and it relayed the same message back in perfect German. I could tell it was AI because I know him and I know his voice, but if you didn't know him, it would have been very difficult to tell. So there's going to be a lot of false messaging. I also was watching an advert on YouTube, and I realized they used Barack Obama's voice to sell the product. Isn't that interesting? Because you know how the adverts repeat? And I was listening to the advert and I was like, that's Barack Obama.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the middle, here we are. Look, Ace of Pentacles. We all know what this is about. It's about the money, unfortunately. Really is, folks. All 3 of us got money cards, didn't we, for this?
Yeah.
And this can also represent what? Fool's gold. So if we look here, false messaging, folly, fool's gold. It will be a victory. There will be some victories from AI, of course. It's not all going to be doom and gloom.
No, there'll be some miraculous things. And that's what they'll lead with,
Exactly. And that's what I think they're going to be talking about. They're going to be, look, listen, all of these advantages, it's not about the money, really. It's, it's about this, the outcome here. We got the Sun card.
Mm.
So what this says to me is that basically it will mean victory in some areas, but we all know who those main victories are going to be for, and it's the people what? Putting in the buttons. Nonetheless, it will lead to illumination. And one of the days I really do believe ultimately in the end, AI will become so prevalent, it will become sentient. Isn't that interesting? Because the Sun card often talks about what? Enlightenment, consciousness. So this is the outcome. So I think at some point AI is actually going to become sentient, and at that point the game's over.
Mm.
Any thoughts on that, Lee?
Yeah, somebody was commenting Scared Ketchup does the best satirical AI clips. He's fabulous if you haven't seen them.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Anything else to add to that, ladies, before we move
Well,
on?
lots, but let's move on because it's so much to talk about with AI.
Oh, indeed. So let me just scribble out that one here. Question number 2. Oh, okay. So this is coming from Nicola McClafferty. You know who you are, Nicola. Nice to see you. One of the defendants in Georgia has pled guilty. Part of the deal is he now has to testify against all the others. Oh, I didn't know this. Do the cards show if this means guilty verdicts for the rest? Interessante. Okay. So will this
That's the deal when there's big cases like this? It's who gets the first bite of the cherry with the deal.
Yeah.
You know?
In a way, first come, first serve, and early
Yeah.
bird catches the worm and all that. Wow. Will his testimony lead to more guilty verdicts of others? So fascinating, isn't it, ladies? How it's all come out. And as you guys know, I've been saying for ages, and many others, not just me, but Trump will be the most litigated man in history. I think he's already there.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is just going to go on for years. Remember those Playboy bunny slippers I saw in my mind's eye? Chewed up by the dog, chewed on by the cat. But it's true.
Oh.
Duck L'Orange, I saw that years ago.
Yes.
Okay. It needs more build.
Well,
who's ready to go?
I can
Go for it.
Well, here I pulled more cards because it was quite a story, but I'll make it brief. So, charging out of the blocks, I think this is the prosecutors, not the guy who'd made the plea deal. I think this is the prosecutor going, yes, got him, and now here we go with the others. So there is a valuation going on. How many others? I'd say at least 7, but it could actually be more because there is the world card, the death card, and the big King of Swords with justice.
Wow.
These are wow cards. Right? Oh, and one more because sorry, just to finish, the 10 of Swords, the end game for them all. I think they're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's pretty bleak, isn't it? That's pretty emphatic. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the center of it, we have all the players here.
Yeah, it's a busy card.
All the biggies there. That everything is up in the air with it, and the new mental stuff is coming in. Now, I had to get some clarification on this. Yeah. So this guy that turned is married to the DOJ now. He's turned,
You got the world
message that's helping to secure his world. Yeah, Al got that. He's got the message to secure his world, trying to keep a lid on the Pandora's box, but they are not going to be happy. They're going down.
Oh, wow.
Goodness. This is just a train wreck of horrors, isn't it? And, you know, I pulled
What
5
did you get,
cards. Say again?
What did you get?
Oh, what did I get? Well, it's extraordinary. Now, Lena and Lady G, you know this. You know how many cards are in the deck. We are thousands of miles apart, literally, and I get the world card as well.
I think that's someone should take a screenshot. We all got the world.
Let's get a screenshot of that. Yeah, it's just remarkable.
I put mine back in the deck already.
Oh, shame.
I don't know.
So as we know, here she is, world card with her boobies out. Yeah, almost a bit like Bogart. Yeah. Yeah.
The world card should be vaping and should be just like
yeah, it should be vaping. Because these folk, they are toast, as you've seen. We get a lot of synchronicity anyway, but I just want to put across to everyone how extraordinarily rare it is that 3 people in separate parts of the world can all pick the same card. It's extraordinary. So spirit's coming through loud and clear. This is the end of a big cycle. So we can really maybe start seeing this as the beginning of the end of the whole shebang.
Yes.
What is it about? Looky here, 7 of Swords, all of them trying to what? Steal things, get away with things. This is the election, the big lie, trying to get literally what? The Georgia votes. Remember when he rang up and he's like, I only need 11,246
votes. I'm not asking much.
I'm not asking much there. Literally, Spirit is saying, yeah, he rang up to try and steal it. They're all thieves. Yeah. However, look at this. Look who's in the middle. Here's Letitia. Not Letitia. It's Fani is here. Well, maybe Freudian slip, because this could be Letitia James as well. She's going to be coming up. But here's Fani Winners in the middle, just slicing through all of the yeah. Look at this. I get the King of Cups as well. So I think Biden's going to be quite tickled by all of this. He's kind of staying out of it. Oh, and by the way, he gave a good speech the other day, didn't he? He did well. He gave a good speech. So I'll give him that. It was a nice speech that he gave about democracy. So in a way, this is almost like Biden looking on as the wheels of justice turn. So this in many ways
above it all.
Above it all, but looking on.
So we got 2 of these cards.
Yeah. I got the same card as you as well. And the outcome card, look at this. Walking away from things. So eventually, even though it may not seem like it, folks, this will end at some point.
Yeah.
They have to walk away. Eventually, people will go to prison and people will be put behind bars. We'll have to see what happens with Duck Larange. I'm still going with a house arrest if that happens. But broadly speaking, yeah, or something like that. But either way, this will bring an end to quite a few things, because when we look, we've got world and walking away at the start. So it is the ending of a cycle. Anything to add to that, ladies?
Well, just as it plays out, but we know they are guilty, and that's why they have been charged. It's not like one of those mysterious, what happened? We'll have to watch the trial. They're all there because their fingerprints were on things, you know.
Yeah. So it is almost
the beginning of the end stuff.
Yeah, beginning of the end, definitely. All of us, we all got the world card, and that is a huge statement from Spirit to say about that. So maybe that's something we can also look forward to as well, that this does seem to be the real turnings of the wheels now. Okay, let's go for question number 3. Oh, this is a good one. This is a China question here. Now, just to elaborate, you guys know that I was talking about Xi Jinping's chart, wasn't I? And I said the wheels will start coming off, particularly towards the last quarter and stuff like that. absolute disaster going on in China. I've put some links in the video description below, folks, so you can research a bit more for yourself. So this is coming from Dirian, and they're saying, "Good day, HoGaLe's." Sweet, bit of Australia twang there. China is selling off their US Treasury bonds in a very significant way over the last 5 days or so. Will this have an adverse effect on the US and world financial markets? Thank you for all the great readings and insights that you give us. Love and blessings to you all. Good question, eh?
Yes, and something I've been talking about for 20 years.
Wow.
And I've been saying for 20 years, if China decides to sell those bonds, cards are leaping.
Yeah, I had one just jump
America. Out. But having said all that, it's a different world now, too, So we'll see. I'm intrigued. What do the cards say about that?
Yeah, I've had one just jump out, and it's already an interesting card.
Mm.
China, white bonds, China's selling bonds. World economy. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Who's ready to go?
I'm not, actually. These cards are intriguing.
Yeah, I've got some good cards as well. Lady G?
I'm not ready either. I have to try to figure out. I don't know anything about bonds and what they're doing, actually. So I have to try to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
Not to worry. I will leap in then. I'll start.
Right.
As long as the viewers are okay with that. You remember sometimes I get shtick even for, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is the card that fell out. Yeah, I was shuffling and the moon fell out. And I think that already says a lot, doesn't it? And it's probably speaking to the energies of the cards that you're getting, ladies, as well, because you're both ruminating over this. And of course, nothing is clear by moonlight. So immediately this says this is a complex situation with China. Yeah. And we're probably not getting not even probably, we are certainly not getting the full facts, because with the videos that I've been watching that are people based in China, they're saying China is now actually starting to cover up its own data, and they've managed to get rid of many people that would collect things. And the guy that was one of the main real estate movers and shakers of Evergrande, which is one of the big builders there, he's now under house arrest and is threatened with the death penalty. Yeah, so it's getting pretty sketch. If we look here, here's China, shall we say, or maybe the administration looking out to the world. Three of Wands, which is about what? Passion. The Wands are always about passion, but I associate as well with entrepreneurship. And I think China is reassessing its position in the world, because normally this card is about your ships coming in. However, I think this is about ships leaving and how much longer China will be able to supply the world, because they're saying the shipping and all this stuff is starting to go down because the economy is shrinking. So it's almost like, for me, with the moon, China's is confused about its role as being the kind of manufacturing center of the world. I think that's now in doubt. Yeah. If we look here is America, as we often use to describe the star card for America. So yes, I think issues in China will affect America. This, of course, could affect the American dollar. Why else has it turned up? Then in the middle here, we have the Emperor card. So, of course, this isn't just talking about maybe Xi Jinping. This is also about male authority, patriarchy, etc., and stuff like that. So this could suggest that several leaders around the world or economies around the world could be affected.
Yes.
Yeah? The old, maybe the more mature, established, authoritative economies around the world may be more affected. That's how I'm interpreting that.
Yeah.
We have the Judgment card, quite literally. So here we've got Angel Michael blowing his bugle on the Chinese economy, going, yeah. And all sorts of things are starting to rise up out of the dead in regards to, honestly, like if we look at the videos, guys, it is colossal. What is going on? It will affect the world. But look at the outcome card. Celebrations. So it's almost like there will be people that might be toasting China's downfall and seeing it as their opportunity to make a buck themselves.
Could be.
Could be. What do you have, ladies? Who's ready to go?
I can go if you like.
Go for it.
Okay. Now, the first card, I think this is talking about China being in a wounded state at this point, the wounded dragon. And none of us know what goes on in China in a day-to-day level. You know, it's a deeply mysterious environment for this. But light is being shone in some way on these maneuvers. But it's a bit like the moon card and what you were describing before, Hogarth. It's a night card. Things are not up front. So wounded China then decides, aha, we've got the bonds. We could sell the bonds because that was always a plan of...
Always, yeah.
So now's the time, i.e. the Wheel of Fortune. But I think the Wheel of Fortune is saying something different here, that it's sort of inevitable that it's come to this point. But China is a bit desperate and ruthless in this regard with this Five of Swords. So what's happening here, I think, is, you know, it's just like in your own life. If you're really broke and struggling and you try and sell a piece of jewelry at a pawn shop, people sense your desperation and you get a depressed value for it. When everyone's riding high, different. So in a different economic climate in China as a powerhouse, to do this would be woo, you know, whereas I feel it's mitigated with that. And I've got one more card, which is why I had to stop and think. Here's the Tower. But when I picked up this card, I felt it's a bit of a mutual tower. I think this isn't going to work particularly well for China as an economic mechanism. And I think it's part of a bigger catastrophe that's going on, I suspect, in both countries. And it's not just economic. Once you get the Tower, it's away from just money. But I think it's both countries. But I agree with you, Hoagies, too. I think it'll affect everybody, you know. Right?
Yeah, it will.
Gee.
Well, underneath of it all, it's about the monetary drama that they're trying to do. At the center of it, we have China trying to hold on to power. And I think this is a desperate manipulation by Xi Jinping to try to hold on to his thing. Desperation. And he's restricting people from knowing just what all he is involved in.
Yeah, how bad it is.
And he is hoping against hope that the Republic Uglies take the presidencies, you know, because he can wheel and deal with 45 or those darker elements. So I think that's the hope he's holding out for.
And maybe someone can tell us in the comments, because I don't really understand bonds either. The whole thing, the issue of treasury bonds, are they backed by gold? Are they real? Or are they part of the casino tokens of the world economy, you know?
I can.
How much of the bonds really work?
A bit here. A bond essentially is an IOU by that government's issues. So they say, look, we want to raise debt. You give us this money, this investment, and we'll give you a set yield on that bond, you know, depending on the markets, etc., etc. So they might say, we promise to pay you back the money that you invested plus some interest, but that yield might be in 5 years, because you get 5-year bonds, 10-year bonds, etc., and stuff like that. So basically, it's one of the ways that governments can basically raise debt. That's something that America's been doing for a very long time. That's why America's debt ceiling is so extraordinarily high, because it's the reserve currency. However, when you start selling those bonds back, the more bonds that start coming back, then you actually start to get an oversupply, and then you can start seeing a devaluation of those yields, which is, in a way, it's almost like, the way I see it, it's like China's like, wow, we're going down the plug hole, but you know, we may as well share the pain as well. Come into the whirlwind and the vortex with us. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So we'll have to see. I think that was fairly close enough. But again, if anyone knows more in the comments, we're open to correction.
Thanks for that. I'd just like to share a comment here for Lady G. Viewer Barbara Weller says, I absolutely loved your video on the evangelists, the end times, and the false prophets. It was very detailed and very mind-blowing.
Oh,
so I'm going to have to check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. And just so you know, Lena, is it just me? But I think Lena's connection might have broken up a little bit. Oh, it's not just me. Okay. Just so you know, Lena, your internet might be a little bit, you know.
Okay. It's choppy.
A bit choppy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks right to me.
All right, no problem. But we can still hear you. We can still hear you.
Okay.
Okay, and we've got 1,253 with us right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us and supporting the channel. Okay, next question. So this is coming from Yvette B. And she says, hi, HoGaLe's. Welcome back, Lena. We missed you. And her question is, will McCarthy be voted out by his own party because Duck LaRange wants it to be so? Oh, McCarthy. My goodness.
Oh, so I'm blurry on your screens.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
Not to worry. The voice is the most important. McCarthy. God, words fail to describe just how extraordinarily up the spout and how weak he is. It's just clownish.
What have you got, lady? I can see the look on your face.
Yes, well, you know, he helped the Democrats, and they are not going to shut down the government. So the all his little play pals are not happy. Let's put it that way. So the message of the new action is things are really being juggled for him, and he is up against a precipice. They really have him backed up now. They're coming after him with a big club. He's looking at a potential loss. As far as him holding on to power, he's dead meat.
Yeah.
I think that kind of tells the tale there. That's why I was
that's perfect. I've got my cards, I think, are just talking about today, the dynamic today, and yours have gone to the proper question, which is, will he lose the role? But here he is, because there was an extraordinary thing today where they pulled back from the brink and signed on the temporary money. But here's this King of Pentacles. It's like McCarthy saying today, because I heard just before our show, a Republican was saying, we're sick of dealing with these wackos. Just stand up to them. So he did, but this is all today. So today was, ooh. And he's been worried about justice. That seems ironic. But in the sense, it's now embarrassing to be the Speaker of the House and not know something about the judiciary and the history and everything that comes with that position. He's actually feeling it, I think, and he's feeling a bit lost himself. he wasn't sure what message to bring here and had to choose one and just went with it and hoped for the best. The problem for them is the big stick. Again, now he has used the big stick, McCarthy, today, but it's not going to work tomorrow. As we sit here, they're working out ways to get rid of him.
Yeah.
They just can't decide which method.
Wow. 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 My goodness. Okay, right. I'll have a read. Quite interesting cards. One of the things that always I find remarkable, whenever we read on the GOP, how many times do we get the Ten of Cups?
Endless.
All the time. At least one of us will get the Ten of Cups whenever we read, and I even find it in just my own readings as well. So we know this to be the fake family. Yeah, this is the GOP trying to play happy families when we all know it's all rotten and broken down and dysfunctional inside. However, we could almost say McCarthy has tried to maybe live up to the virtues of this card and throw a rainbow, over the government to basically prevent everything shutting down. So he's decided to be someone, Glenda the Good Witch, Yeah, that's what he's done. However, he has unleashed the fates, the furies, the fate of destiny. Because in the 5-card spread, the second card is often what? The obstacle position. So really, we can interpret it like this. And when it's like that, look who's on top. The devil's on top. So we know that's Marjorie Taylor Greene, Angry Birds. Boo Bert, she can get herself together, and all the other kind of craze that are there. So he has just taken a turn for the worse. There he is in the middle. So it's almost like he's sort of stepped in to save the day. But my goodness, this is someone who's dreading the domestic argument when they get back home.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? So this is that Freedom Caucus. So basically all have their sticks out, and they're all going to be beating McCarthy within an inch of his life, I'm sure. Here with the Knight of Wands, more beatings. Yeah, he's barely gonna be able. From tomorrow onwards, I think there's going to be so many things thrown at his head. They're going to be scheming and wanting to charge forward and basically take as much action against them as possible. However, here is McCarthy still wanting to hold on to what? Yeah. The lucrative position. How many times did we see this card for McCarthy? Well, as long as I've got my role and my money, but as we understand, what is the shadow of this card? It can be what? The streetwalker. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say prostitute.
Yeah, it's the prostitute here. The person that can be.
No offense to sex workers. Sorry, everyone.
Exactly, because this is an insult to sex workers, which is, after all, is the oldest profession, and they are professional. At least you get something, for your money. Anyway, sorry. Stop it, Cody. Stop it. I don't know what's come over me recently, but there you are.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Anything to add to that?
I just keep seeing him. Watch your back. Et tu, Brutus.
Yeah.
You should be wearing a vest,
Oh.
But also, then the problems just start. Who on earth are they going to choose to replace McCarthy? You see, this is the problem.
You know who I think is vying for it? The tater trader is vying for his position.
Of course. NTG.
Goddess of civility. Yes.
Of course.
Screaming in the aisle.
Goodness. That could happen. Do you know what? Let's do it's just come to me because I think that's so pertinent. Let's do a 1-card pull on whether or not on Marjorie Taylor Greene's prospects. Yeah, let's just do a 1-card pull because
you mean as speaker or generally?
As speaker, what are her prospects to be able to replace McCarthy as speaker? 1-card pull, and let's see what Spirit has to say. Because that's a very good question. My God, can you imagine if it's that?
Oh,
No, it's
from bad to worse.
Beyond satire. It's beyond satire. All right, are we ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, look. Oh, yeah, yucky poo.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah,
Lena, how do you interpret your card?
well, this is the Seven of Swords, of course, the thief in the night. But I don't think it's actually saying she will get it by theft. But someone will, because surely even the GOP realise that would be beyond them and beyond the pale. But you never know. Now, what did you guys have here?
Lady G.
Well, I've got the Dark Knight, and I think she's just barking mad on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I've got the Knight of Swords. So what I'm going to say is she's certainly going to go for it. I don't think she's scared to wield the knife. Let's put it that way. I would imagine if this was the circus, if this was your circus deck, Lena, it would be McCarthy would be on the wheel, and you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Angry Birds guy, you know, with the eyebrows. What's his name? Matt Gates. Yeah, would be throwing their weapons and what have you. So she may or may not get it, but she's certainly gonna try.
Yeah.
And that knight is also the immature, impulsive knight, you know.
Yeah, which is really fitting.
Well, the last thing she did was the worst. The guy that she had his salary dropped to $1 a month.
Oh no!
What?
Yeah, the one that's ahead of the military thing with getting people into the military. That guy is a black guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah, she brought it up and they passed it.
Oh, she was able to reduce someone's salary to $1 per month.
Yeah, because you didn't have enough recruitment. Well, why are they not having enough recruitment? Because of their transgender and all the stuff the ugly repuglias are doing now with the military stuff.
Speechless. What a vicious, awful creature.
Oh, yeah, Lloyd.
Would they have done it to a white man in the same position?
I doubt it. I doubt it very much.
Somebody said she did it to 2 people. I don't know who the other one is, but yes, people are saying his name is Lloyd Austin, Secretary of Defense. Lloyd Austin.
He's head of DOD.
She was able to reduce the Secretary of Defense's wage to $1.
He should sue them.
Allowed?
They did it.
Astonishing. That is so cruel. That is so unspeakably cruel.
He should just sue them.
Sue. Yeah, sue. Absolutely should sue. Yeah. That's outrageous. Why is an abuse like that that's tolerated and voted on and passed?
And it's actually nothing to do with what he does or doesn't do. This action is appalling.
Punishment.
Yeah.
Punishment.
People are saying it didn't go through, but I heard that it did. It passed in the House. Maybe it has to go to the Senate, but yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. It may have passed on the floor, and then maybe the Senate might strike it down.
The Senate won't allow it, surely. No.
Oh, gosh. You just think there's even how much more vileness can come out of leaky douchebag blowhard.
Secretary of Defense, for God's sake. It should be a federally protected thing.
Yeah, no one should be able to do that.
Secretary of Defense.
Oh, it's extraordinary. Isn't it? The mind boggles. Thanks for sharing that. My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yes, we should.
All right. So this is an Ivanka. Oh, look who's at the bottom of the deck. The second I mention anything to do with Trump. Oh my God.
And the bottom of my deck, this is Ivanka having a lie down after giving testimony.
So from what I understand is that Ivanka has been asked, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm only just finding out about this, but the New York case, and I understand, is this the one that Letitia James is bringing? Is this the one?
Yeah, New York.
Right. Okay. So the New York. So she has been asked to testify. And also as well, this is something some other readers have read on. I was watching Psychic Violetta, actually. She was reading on this as well. And I looked at this as well in Thursday Fry Up. And I know the cards that I got there, but I want to ask all the two of you as well. Will she throw Daddy and her brothers under the bus in her testimony?
Yeah, all three of them have to go up and testify.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
All of the kids have to testify in that.
Oh, my God, this is going to be like an episode of Dynasty, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And they can hide behind the no comment thing with the fifth. But when they get found guilty, that goes against you big time.
Wow. Okay. Ivanka testifying. Will she throw Daddy and the brothers under the bus? God, what a nest of vipers it must be like in the family. I wonder what they give each other for Christmas presents.
We should have the bard for Ivanka.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, the cards are funny. Can I go? Can I go?
Of
Yes,
course.
go ahead. Yes, say all things Ivanka.
I hope you guys find this amusing. Okay, well, here she comes. Boudica. You know, the Queen of yesterday. Out to slay Rome, you know. Childhood connections and the past are dead, like super dead. Siblings, look at that. Siblings, Ten of Swords.
Oh, look.
In their backs. And then she's off to Tel Aviv, you know.
Riding off into the sunset.
Oh my goodness. Any more cards, Lena?
No, I thought I'd stop there. Aren't they corkers?
Perfect.
Well,
Lady
they're
G,
looking deeper into this. They want some information. Yes, that's underneath of it all. And she's got to testify to justice. She's there. She's got the burden of what? Putting swords in the back. Because why? These are her choices to make to keep herself, you know, pushy and happy. But she's going to try to temper the losses.
Of course.
So she's only going to a little bit throw them under the bus.
Just their legs.
Oh my goodness. When you read on these guys, it's just hilarious, isn't it? Especially Ivanka, because it's often quite multi-layered, but it's just so clear. All right, so my first card, here she is, the star.
Just like
yeah?
Daddy.
Either way, she's going to be well turned out, folks. I mean, this lady has probably contributed to probably several holes in the ozone layer over her lifetime.
Getting ready.
Just expect her to be so coiffed. She's literally, the lights are going to be glaring off her. Lip gloss, high-heeled shoes, the whole shebang, probably even a low-cut top as well, you know, and very, very shiny and blonde. Yeah, so here she is.
Yep.
But she's also as well, this also suggests as well, let's not forget too, that the star also has a lot to do with purity and innocence. So she's going to present herself like with a nice, you know, soft voice and be like, oh, I don't quite recall, and blah, 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 while at the same time, you know, like you said.
That was in another room.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm not quite aware. I was at lunch or I was shopping. Yeah. So she's going to play innocent as well, but she's going to be gleaming. However, the impact of her words will be what? Death to her siblings and her father. She's going to be sweet, but she's going to be ruthless, folks. Ruthless. With the little that she says, her testimony is going to devastate the arguments of her brothers and her father, most likely. Either way, whatever she says in court, That's going to be the end of it. So in a way, this is like my kind of Ten of Swords as well. It can speak about that. Who's the main one that's going to be thrown under the bus? Look who's in the middle. It's Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh, Daddy's in trouble. Yeah. So here he is in the middle, and she's in her own way. She's not going to say it explicitly. She's going to be very polished with it, but she's going to infer that Pops knew what was going on because look, he's turned up in the middle. Anyway, but once that's done, she's going to be prospecting. Yeah. Her and Jared, they mind you, remember they've got $1 billion. What is it? 2 billion down the back of the sofa. Forgive me. The interest payment.
They need it because they've got 2.5 billion in debt.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness. So here she is with the entrepreneur's hats on. So there could be more perfumes, people. Get ready. Yeah. And this is her speculating on trade and business and all that stuff. However, look at this. The outcome card, because remember, I got the Hermit as well. So this could be, after she's done everything, if she survives, this could be Ivanka shuffling off the main stage for good. She might well go abroad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, her comments will be deadly, but, it'll be very interesting. Anything to add to that, ladies, before the last
One
question?
of the comments here, in real life, according to Michael Cohen, Ivanka has a mouth like a trucker.
Really?
And her little girl voice is totally manufactured.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
she's away from there, it drops about, 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we'd do a one card pull. Let's get a one card pull in before we round up. And this is an interesting one. So this is coming from Josephine Schwartz, and she's asked, what are Robert Kennedy Jr.'s chances in 2024, and will he take votes away from Biden? I thought, oh, that's interesting. Most people don't rate his chances, but let's do a one card pull and see what the cards have to say.
Yeah, one card.
See what the cards have to say. And then we're going to finish up with a roundup one. All right. Kennedy, one card pull. Will he take votes from Biden? What's going on with him? Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Ooh,
well, I get the Knight of Swords. I have to say what every card is because I've got a flickering screen. Yeah. So I think he does have the capacity to do that. Hopefully not enough to change the deal, but yeah.
Yeah. Lady G?
Well, he's definitely working on it as much as he can, for sure.
Yeah, he's working hard. And if we look here as well, I've got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, of course, is about what? Intellect, using one's mind, sharp, astute. So he's certainly, when we look at all of our cards together, he's certainly going to give it a go, isn't he? Because the Eight of Pentacles is about working hard. Lena's got the Knight of Swords rushing forward, and I've got the King of Swords as well. So he's in it to try and win it. I'd say that. Fair enough.
I'm surprised.
Go on.
I was going to say, I'm surprised because he comes from such a deeply political family that he doesn't understand that dynamic in this critical time of 2024. That he would realize how damaging that is for the Democrats. I can't understand that coming from a deeply political space, with him. Don't get it.
Well, he's an outlier, isn't he? He's an interesting character, given that I know he's a very divisive character, but we can see from the cards he's going to go for it. That seems like he's probably going to run as an independent or something like that. But with those cards, it looks like he's going to go for it. And now, I think we were supposed to do Shakespeare's spin on Ivanka, weren't we?
Ivanka.
So let's ask Shakespeare. I asked Shakespeare on my Thursday fry-up, and he was quite polite. It's quite funny. She avoids getting the big old slapdowns. But anyway, who read last time? Is it?
I was. Lena's been gone for a while, so it's
all right. Lena, it's you. Let me get my pages ready.
Everyone has to adjust for gender here because he usually speaks about men, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly. So you tell me where to stop, Lena, and then we'll
Right.
see what he has to say about Ivanka.
Ready, stop.
Mm. Mm. This is interesting. So here, this is from Troilus and Cressida. Thou hast no more brain than I have in my elbows. And then on the next page, from the Merchant of Venice, it says, a false and dull-eyed fool.
Oh, she got it this time round. Look at that.
Yeah, this time round, the bard didn't hold back. So he's kind of
look out.
Thou has no more brain than I have in my elbows. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there we are. But I mean, maybe it's because she's marching off into the sunset. So he's kind of just hurled an insult at her as she leaves the door. She goes out the door.
And the only reason she didn't get charged was because she left the company in the last 5 years or something. So it timed out. It was beyond the statute of limitation.
She does. She's got some brain
could be
cells going on.
facing charges as we speak.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this is an interesting question that's come in, and it's sort of like a tangent. So Diane Vonel, sorry if I've Vonefeld, sorry. So she's mentioned Steve Judd. You know Steve Judd, the astrologer. He's a Western tropical astrologer, British guy, been around for a long time, very respected. So she said, Steve Judd said, look at October 16th for something big. Could you please maybe clarify what may be in the works for the US? What I would add to that is that October is just a big month anyways. We've seen it already. As you know, I've been saying ad nauseum, particularly for Duck Larange, October could be dreadful for him. We'll see what happens in court. But October in general. So, but let's just pull and see what our cards have to say about the USA in October.
No, I said USA in October.
Yeah, USA in October. She heard Steve Judd. Let's just.
All right. I have to say, I just made an entire video on that, the USA in October.
Oh, did you?
Small spread.
Did you? Yeah. All right, let's go for it, and that will close the show. All right, USA.
It's a one-carder.
Yeah, let's do a one-carder, yeah? Shall we?
Okay, let me.
Oh, no, wait. Have you already pulled?
Yeah, I already pulled.
Oh, no, right. Let's. Lady G's already pulled.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. So what I have underneath of it all, we've got some history going, and they're trying to figure a way to go forward. But above it, America is going to face some difficulties. They're looking at, again, the next move, but judgment is coming down. The challenge is tempering the Pandora's box that's going on. And I think it's just a lot of the world judging the U.S. with what's going on with the drama with 45 and all of this nonsense.
Yeah. Lena, what did you get?
Well, I got the Nine of Swords again, weeping at night. I think there'd be a lot of people who must be very worried now. These court cases and trials are becoming more real, both to the people who've been charged, who've been telling themselves 5 years, nothing's happened, it's all right. It's not all right. These two cards of the economy, these two pentacle cards here. So people looking how to preserve their money and make it stretch here. But also, I think this could be like the auto workers strike and things like that. People not being paid properly with this Six of Pentacles for the work that they do. It will be a burdensome month all round, complex, difficult, all going on. And we all need our inner strength through October.
Yeah.
But we'll do.
Very interesting. My card's quite complicated as well. Straight off the bat, look at this, 7 of Cups. So look, it's all of the delusion and the craziness of the GOP, and all Beetlejuice concerts and this, that, and the other. It's just really become like bedlam, hasn't it? It's really become a real maelstrom, and I think it's getting to people as well. And of course, this cannot help America's reputation. I was watching Bobart today, and she couldn't even describe her own motion that she wanted to put forward to amend something. She didn't even know what her own amendment was. You see how this speaks to this tremendous confusion and discombobulation going on. If we look here in the obstacle position, people are wanting to move to smoother waters, but they can't, because they're locked in. We can see this in the reverse. So they feel like they're locked in the asylum. But there are increasing amounts of people, I think, even within the GOP, that really want to move to smoother waters now. It's just becoming
the vibe, isn't it?
Too much. Yeah, it's becoming too much, even for the GOP or some of the members. A breakthrough is needed. So if we look here, there could be some kind of very significant or dramatic news that maybe is to come, or maybe some kind of breakthrough. Or could this be, is it the case that someone wields the club for McCarthy, which leads to something being able to move on? We'll have to see. However, there is virtually guaranteed to be an abuse of power somewhere. So they're not going to stop. The bloodletting's not going to stop. And I think there's going to be more fallout as well from Duc L'Orange and all of that stuff. And ultimately, it's about, if we look here, we have the Lovers. It's about important decisions that need to be made, fateful ones. So let's just say it's going to be an eventful month.
Yeah,
it's going to be an eventful month.
Wow.
Well,
that has flown by.
It has flown by. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We had over 1,500 of you with us this evening. So we really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that jazz. And also as well, the ladies' videos are in the description below. Thank you for all your comments and joining us. And that went so quick. And my goodness, we had some good laughs in there as well. Let's see what Madame does come Monday. And let's see who throws who under the bus. It's going to be like a bad episode of Dynasty. And Ivanka's going to be turning up like Crystal, with a shoulder pad.
I'm working on special popcorn for that.
Yes.
It won't be televised, will it? Or will it? No.
I hope it is.
I think so. I think it will be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Could well be. So that time went so quickly. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us. We, of course, will be back next week with more HoGaLe's, and big love to everyone. And we're going to be talking. All right. Ciao, everyone. Bye-bye.